Chapter 5, Corporate and IT Governance. This is part 2 of 4, Primary Goals of IT Governance. The learning outcomes include: explain the goals of IT governance plans, evaluate how effective IT governance plans and controls may add value to the organization, describe several methods that may be used to mitigate IT-related risks, and analyze the effect of laws on IT governance structures. Looking at the two primary goals of IT governance, we start with value delivery. And this is where you make sure that the technology you implement in your company delivers some sort of value to the organization as a whole. So it looks at the business strategy and looks at how IT can contribute to delivering value. You want to optimize your expenses and prove the value of IT to the business strategy. Secondly, you want to manage risk. And this makes, in order to do this, you need to make sure that your senior corporate officers are aware of what the risks are aware of the risk mitigation strategies that you plan to pursue, and that these goals are in alignment with the organizational strategy. Let's take a look at how an organization may improve the chances of benefiting from IT investments. As we have already said several times, there must be a very tight alignment between the business strategy and the goals and anticipated outcomes of IT projects. In fact, the organization should only embark on IT investments when there's a clear link to business goals and objectives. An experienced project manager will also improve the chances of successful IT investments. The project management methodology used is not as important as using fundamental project management principles when undertaking the IT project. Let's look at some statistics that clearly show the importance of aligning with business and assigning an experienced project manager. 17% of large IT projects go so badly that they threaten the very existence of the company. Think about that. An unsuccessful IT project may cause a company to go out of business almost 1 out of every 5 times. That's a great incentive to improve the chances of successful IT investments. Large IT projects, such as those for enterprise resource planning or linkage with suppliers, run 45% over budget. That's a significant amount. If a large project is estimated to cost $100 million, it may end up costing $145 million. You can quickly understand why a failed IT project may cause a company to go out of business. Large IT projects also run 7% over time. Personally, I think that's an optimistic number. Perhaps they run 7% over time because the investment is stopped after a certain time, regardless of the functionality delivered. And in fact, large IT projects deliver 56% less value than predicted. In some, IT projects run over budget and over time while delivering less functionality than desired. So what can you do to mitigate IT-related risk? There are several things you can do. You can use good internal controls and procedures and hold people accountable for their decisions. The Sarbanes-Oxley Act, or SOX, does just that. After scandals such as those at Enron, SOX was passed with bipartisan support to ensure that public firms produce reports that reflect their actual performance. Enron was joined in its deception by its own external auditor, Arthur Andersen, which is now out of business. Enron executives were painting a picture of a thriving company with plenty of reserves on hand. Employees were required to invest retirement money in Enron stock. Prior to the company going bust, all of the executives sold their stock. Meanwhile, rank and file employees and recent retirees were left with nothing. Absolutely nothing. I recommend you take a look at this video that describes the Enron scandal. If you want to know more about it, you can watch the movie that describes it, The Smartest Guys in the Room.
Internal controls can help you mitigate that IT-related risk that as a C-level executive, you or others in your organization may be held accountable for. One way is through separation of duties, also called segregation of duties, where you don't have one person who does all parts of a process. So you don't have one person that prepares all parts of the financial reports that you release. You have multiple people contributing for an integrated report. That way, you don't have one access point that could give you more susceptibility to IT-related risks. Part of the reason for internal controls is because of previous improper conduct of managers and inability or failure to hold those managers responsible. Part of the reason that SOX came about. With internal controls, you have reasonable assurance that the effectiveness and efficiency of your organization is accurately reported, no matter how effective or efficient you are. Your reports are reliable, accurate, and valid, and you've complied with all applicable laws, regulations, statutes that might be in place. I encourage you at this point to pause the PowerPoint presentation and take a look at a YouTube video on separation of duties. So we know that IT governance is important for managers, but taking a little closer look at it, being aware of and developing a good, sound IT governance strategy allows you to integrate IT strategy with the business strategy. So you have the goals and objectives of the business, and you create IT goals and objectives based on those business objectives. You try to add value to your organization, increase revenue if that's the goal of your organization. Nonprofits, obviously that may not be, and decrease expenditures. This helps you reduce your risk over time and the costs that are expended for IT and the overall business cost. It also lets you manage your IT resources so that you have a competitive advantage over others in your industry, and provides a way to accurately measure and report the performance of your IT resources.
Organizations should link business, IT, and IT governance. The business side sets goals and objectives along with the strategic vision and direction for the company. IT sets the technical architecture of the organization based on meeting strategic goals and objectives, innovating with IT to meet organizational outcomes, and developing projects in line with the needs of the business. The business then sets priorities and needs for technology in line with the overall IT governance model. Similarly, IT prioritizes projects, maintenance, and updates to meet business needs. IT governance establishes an overall organizational data management plan that is secure and delivers services in line with the needs of the business and the projects IT is undertaking to meet those needs. To summarize this section on IT governance, an IT governance structure sets policy, standards, and security plans in line with the needs of business and the capabilities of IT. This plan is vitally important to the organization and is the responsibility of C-level managers. A good IT governance plan may reduce but not eliminate risk by having a clear data management and security plan so that personally identifiable information is protected through proper controls, and using the technology resources available, trained employees or contractors, technology assets, and money in ways that will maximize the return of the organization in line with overall business strategy. As a result of inaccurate reporting and collusion between external auditors and C-level managers, Sarbanes-Oxley was passed and signed into law. SOX holds senior managers accountable for the integrity and accuracy of their financial reports. If they knowingly release incorrect information, or if they should have known it was inaccurate, they may face high fines and even criminal prosecution. Clearly, an IT governance plan offers significant advantages to the organization.